guys, what's going on? I'm Lydia, and today I want to bring you the perfect marriage of blondies and carrot cake. We're making carrot cake blondies, so if you like brownies, but the blondie version, that's what blondies are. We are going to turn them into carrot cake blondies. So delicious, so good. If you are wanting something sweet, but you want to feel like you're being a little healthy, try this. Even though it's not healthy at all, just thought I should mention it. Not at all healthy. This dessert is super sweet. It's pretty easy to make. I think you guys are gonna like it. It has frosting on top to just add to the flavor, the carbs, the sweetness, and everything else. I hope you guys like it. You can add extra pecans to the top. I won't get mad. I didn't really add too many to mine just because I didn't want the texture. I wanted the frosting texture because it was so soft and smooth. But anyways, before I get started with the recipe, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Leave me a comment, give me a like, and let me show you how to make carrot cake brownies. No, I'm sorry. No. I'm so excited. Like, I can't even talk. Let me show you how to make carrot cake blondies. To start off this recipe to make your carrot cake blondies, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, line a 9 by 9 inch baking pan with some parchment paper and spray it lightly with some nonstick cooking spray. Then to a large bowl, add in your melted butter, your brown sugar, and your vanilla, and then combine it with a hand mixer until everything is nice and smooth. Everything should be nicely incorporated. Once it's at that step, add in an egg and 1 egg yolk. Save your egg whites for some other kind of recipe or make egg white omelets. And then go ahead and beat this mixture until it is all combined. Then you want to fold in your shredded carrots. Now I shredded my carrots pretty finely because I didn't want any big chunks. I kind of wanted it to be pretty tiny and not that visible in the cake. So I went ahead and added them to the rest of the mixture, and I'm using a rubber spatula to fold in my carrots. And I'm just quickly doing this. You don't need to worry too much about the mixture being overmixed just because there's no flour in there. And your mixture might look a little bit curdled, and that's totally fine. It should look something like this. It should be nice and fluffy. The carrots should be running through it perfectly. There shouldn't be any lumps or anything like that. So once you are done, folding in your carrots, I'm kind of doing this obsessively just because I like to make sure everything is completely combined. You can start working on your dry ingredients. So I'm adding my ginger, my cinnamon, and salt to my flour, whisking it really quickly until it is nicely combined. And then I went ahead and added my dry ingredients to my wet ingredients. I used the rubber spatula to fold everything in. I'm trying to get all the dry bits of flour off the edges and just work gently. Try not to overmix your mixture because you don't want the gluten to form. So once everything is nicely combined, it should start smelling pretty lovely. You can add your chopped pecans. You can add more or less pecans. It's up to you. And you can also add dried fruits if you're all about that life. I'm not, so I just went ahead and added the pecans. Gave this a quick mix. It should start smelling good. I'm giving it to you guys to sniff. Then go ahead and add this all into your prepared 9 by 9 inch square baking dish. That's kind of hard to say. And make sure you scrape out every last drop of it because you do want this to get into your belly eventually. And then after you're done scraping it, make sure you flatten it out all over and make sure it's nice and even. It's kind of hard because the parchment paper moves all over the place. So once you flatten the tops out faithfully and it's nice and even like I'm doing here, then you are ready to place this in your prepared oven that you have preheated, I hope. So go ahead and place this in your oven for around 30 to 35 minutes or until the top is golden brown and the center is set. And here I am sniffing these blondies because the ginger and the cinnamon smells delicious. This smells so good. It smells like cinnamon and ginger. Once you are done sniffing your blondies, make sure you allow them to cool completely. Once they are cooled completely, start on your frosting. So to a large bowl, add in your room temperature cream cheese and your butter that is also at room temperature. Add in your vanilla. Give this a quick beat until it is nice and smooth. Then add in 1 cup of powdered sugar. Beat that also until it is nice and smooth. And then add in the rest of your powdered sugar. Give this another beating. Make sure everything is nice and smooth and everything is combined. You don't want any lumps in your frosting. This is what the attachment looks off the beater. Lick that instead of eating all the frosting out of the bowl because it is so good. Use a spatula, a rubber spatula, to scrape the sides to make sure everything is nicely combined and there is no powdered sugar on the sides of the bowl. Once you are at this step, you can actually probably put this in the fridge and let it set up a little bit, which I didn't. So I went ahead and I pulled my blondies out and I peeled the parchment paper back. And then I made the silly mistake of deciding to cut my edges. This is what happens when you are on a couple hours of sleep every night. You kind of can't think straight. So I ended up cutting my edges, which I would not recommend because when you go to frost your blondies, you kind of can't spread it all the way to the edges and it kind of ruins the clean look that I was going for. But hey, not to worry. I'm trying to make best of my mistakes. So here I am cutting the edges. Not to worry. The edges did go to good use. You know, we did eat them because they're super delicious. They're caramelized. I really like the flavor on the edges. You know, you're with me if you like edges. So anyways, after that, I went ahead and started frosting it. This is kind of where I realized I made a mistake and I couldn't spread the frosting all the way to the edges because it would have messed up my clean look. Oh well, we all make mistakes. I try to make the best of them. So once you spread the frosting all over the tops, if you had this in the fridge for probably like 10, 15 minutes, it would have probably been a lot stiffer. And this is a lot of frosting, so you do not have to use it all because it is so much frosting. I mean, you guys are going to be so hyper. By the time you finish the bar, you're not going to know what to do with yourself. So just don't serve this to kids because it's super sweet. Then using my mathematical geniusness, I'm going to start cutting my bars into, you know, little squares, and I'm just cutting them kind of like this. And then I was left with what looked like a tic-tac-toe board, which is not a bad thing. That's actually a pretty cool idea to play tic-tac-toe with your blondies. I kind of like it, but yeah, I'm just making fun of myself because I cannot cut straight for the life of me. I always cut crooked. So yeah, you might be left with a tic-tac-toe board. As you can see, there is a lot of frosting, which is always a good thing. You can see the little specks of carrots running through these these carrot cake blondies. Oh my goodness, guys, I can't talk. What is wrong with me? So here I am trying to make you guys hungry. As you can see, the ratio to frosting and blondies is a lot. So yeah, this is super sweet. It's super good. You don't have to add the pecans to the top. You can add as much or as little as you want. I actually didn't really want to add any to the top, but I wanted it to be a little bit prettier. You can grind them up on top. I think that would be really pretty, but you know, I just kind of left them chopped up like this. And after like 3 bites, you guys are going to be so sweetened out. I mean, once you guys have these blondies, you'll know what I mean. You guys are going to want to put that fork down and take a breather. Thank you for joining me on this episode of showing you how to make carrot cake blondies. I said it right. I always mess my words up. This is what happens when you're bilingual and you're all over the place. It just happens. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for sharing my videos. I know someone has been sharing my videos on Facebook. I don't know who you are, but thank you very much. I wish I had a Facebook, which I don't. That's like a whole nother game that I need to learn. But before I go blabbling on, thank you. Thank you for watching, for sticking with me till the end. Make sure you guys are subscribed if you're not already. I'd really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. See ya.